Hey, how are ya? Just making sure this is on. Okay, it's January 9th, 2015, and I like to just say the date just so I have some frame of reference if I ever look back at these things, which I seldom do. I look back, I've watched some of the characters that I've done, but as far as this stuff, I've just basically like to just put these together for not this generation, because no one's going to care. I know my family don't watch this stuff. I don't even tell. I've seen a couple of the things I've done, but primarily I'm doing these things for the generation after we're all gone. Because it was funny, the other day my mother was talking about my dad. We have this cassette. I was about 8 years old, and we're talking, my mother and my dad were in the parlor, and I was on the floor watching TV or whatever. It was like the late 70s, and about it goes on for about half an hour. It's like the only thing that we have of my dad's voice and everything. My mother's like, oh, we should all sit around and listen to that someday. We've done that, I don't know, it's been a while since we've done that, but that's all we got of him. So I'm envisioning with these things that I'm putting together, I'd like to at some point, if I can just get them onto a DVD, and then I could delete all this from YouTube, and then just have that for the future people, the future generations of this family. I don't know how long I'll be around, or all of us actually. But I'm just kind of zoning out a little bit. I just did my walk. I just did 7 miles. So I'm a little tired. But anyway, I think what I wanted to talk about would be, as far as that, we'll go back to that about putting the tapes, because I was like, yeah, that's all we got of him. So at least, it'd be great to have things of him. Though that wasn't his nature. I think I'm like the only one that has this nature of thinking of the future generations. And I do envision all of us being in the afterworld and looking down, and I'll be the spokesman for the family. How scary is that? And they'll all be looking at me, and because I do think that we all kind of hang out with the people that we were with in this world, and they'll just be laughing at me because there will be some kid just watching all this stuff, and I'll be the one, like, it's like, oh my God, if we'd known that, Luke, we would have been doing all this stuff too, because you're the one that they're seeing, and it should be us, or something to that effect. But anyway, so that's that point, and I guess where I'm leading to is what my concept of the afterworlds is, and I think I've touched on that in a few of the other videos that I've made, that I do believe that there is a world after this. I think people that believe that this is it, it's kind of a crappy way to live, I would think. I think that there should be some incentive to strive for something after this world is over. And I really do believe that the world is such a great place that it had to be created. People say that it's the Big Bang. Well, then who created the Big Bang, right? So I mean, you can sometimes I think the danger, especially how educated that we all are at this stage of existence, that we can poke holes through all the stories, and the stuff that happened 2,000 years ago, and you can really say that, well, a lot of those stories are not feasible, and I'm sure a lot of them aren't. But I do think that if you get all caught up in that, then you lose the reason why we're in this world. And good, bad, or indifferent, those stories, you can learn a lot of valuable lessons from them. I think, I grew up, I was an altar boy for a few years, and I'd get into kind of for a young guy, I'd get into problems because I questioned. We used to have a priest that would come over once a week and talk to us in my religion class, and he was saying that only the Catholics went to heaven, and I was like, well, that doesn't really make much sense to me. Because I grew up in this neighborhood and I went to this school and grew up with, parents. I didn't say all this stuff, but because I grew up with, religious, it's kind of luck of the draw in a way. And, what if I grew up in the jungle somewhere, or I grew up in anywhere, the Middle East or whatever? Well, a lot of what your basis of beliefs are actually everybody is I mean, it is a form of brainwashing, good brainwashing or bad brainwashing. Kind of brainwashing I think I had was okay, but it is brainwashing. And these Muslims, these radical Muslims doing what they're doing, they feel just as strongly what they're doing is the right thing as we feel that it's the wrong thing. And that's the danger. That's the danger of religion, is that anything that you take to the extreme ain't a good thing. So you take the good things from the religion that you've been brought up with, and you kind of just try to just focus on that good stuff, and the stuff that just makes you shake your head, like with the Catholics, of course, with the priests and everything like that. Well, you just can't just say, well, the whole religion's, just throw it out the window because of, what those men did. That's just, there's no excuse for what they did, but you don't just throw the whole religion out the window because of, those a-holes. Yeah, I mean, religion, we were talking the other night, I was saying how, if God knows everything and through a random act, say I walk down the street and a terrorist comes out and shoots me in the head or something like that, I don't get to fulfill what my destiny is going to be. Does God know what that destiny was going to be? And since I was shortchanged, I didn't accomplish, hopefully I'm like trending upward. But what if I was meant to trend downward? Does that factor in onto the decision when they're up there, judging? And I love how we all think, heaven's up here and hell's down there, and these are just man-made concepts that, when you think about it, do you really think we're up in a cloud, balancing around? That's just all man-made stuff in hell. And I like to think of, I think heaven more or less would be like a one-way mirror, kind of like being at the being in a department store or whatever, that they can see us like on the outer dimension, kind of looking. They're not looking up from a cloud. I know I'm digressing here, but I seriously doubt they're up on some planet, looking down with binoculars or whatever, and have wearing a big parka or whatever. But that's neither here nor there. I really think that that's something you debate till the cows go home. Unfulfilled potential, dying before your time, and not getting to fulfill that destiny. Would that factor into it? There's also the argument, well, even if there wasn't a heaven, people would invent it anyway because they're scared of dying, and you can go either way. But I think the bottom line, I think this world is definitely a test, and there is there is a supreme being watching what we do, and you're accountable. He knows what's in your heart, and knows what challenges every individual has. Their challenges, and a lot's expected. Everybody's sailing on getting to where you want to be after this world is a little different. People that maybe overanalyze things like I do, maybe a lot more is expected than somebody who just, wasn't brought up with any sort of religious background or anything of that nature, and just has evil intent, just a scum, and maybe their ceiling is a lot lower. Maybe they get into heaven. Maybe somebody like me, maybe they don't. I don't know, but I think the bottom line is we really don't know. I think the way to live is, like I've said before, just to treat this as heaven and treat everybody with the way you want to be treated, with respect, and try to make this world as much like the way you want it to be as possible. Make this world as much of a heaven. Like if everybody treated everybody with love and respect, then it would be heaven, right? But we don't see that every day, because most people do have that tunnel vision, and So my point, if I could go on for probably another half hour. What my views are. Sometimes I think that. That we can never remember not being alive. So maybe we, like the whole Shirley MacLaine deal, where the things that you get wrong this time around, maybe you have to come back and keep getting it right until you do get it right, and then you have eternal life. I don't know. But I do know. I really do think that there is something after this world. That there is, and it's not because I'm paranoid about. Just being stuck in a coffin. Not kidding, that's not the reason. I just think that the world had to have been done by somebody or something, some supreme being. That's just what I believe. Not necessarily the way it's been, like I said before, laid out in the Bible and all that stuff. But I just think that there has to be something after this, and I wanted to see my dad and my brother too, so I have to believe in something, right? So that's about it. I don't know how long this went on, but I don't know what I'll title it, because I'll probably just put a big question mark. As usual. God, I might just delete this. I don't know. Adios.